Hello, this is a quick revision tutorial on nets. Now, as you can see on the screen, we have a net. A net is a two-dimensional shape that can be folded up to make a three-dimensional one. So this net here can be folded to make a cube, because this is the most straightforward net, which we'll look at first. It's not the only net that can be used to be folded to make a cube. And if we have a look, I can show you some other ones. So there's actually 11 versions of a net that will make a cube. There's no more. There's just 11 combinations. Now, if you look at each of these nets, you can see in common, let's have a look, good. In common, they've all got 6 faces. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And obviously, the net's got to have the same number of faces as the 3D object that it's trying to fold into. Obviously, our cube here has got 6 faces. So the net must have 6 separate shapes or 6 separate squares to then become each of the faces of the cube. So that's the first way of checking if a net will fold into a shape, a 3D shape. Has it got the same number of individual 2D shapes that the 3D shape has got faces? Okay. Now, it's a bit hard to get your head around how these fold, so I've got one here. So this is a larger printout of this one just here. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. And I've got one cut out. So here it is cut out. And you can see, if we try and fold it up, okay, we can fold this thing, even with my sausage fingers, to make a nice 3D cube. Okay, so that works. All the faces are there. There's no gaps. Okay, so that's basically how nets work. Now, some tricky exam questions can be things like, let me just change the colour here. Things like they will mark on to the cube, say, this face, this edge here onto the net, sorry, okay? So this edge I'm highlighting on my net, and they'll say, okay, when this cube's folded, which edge will that join up to? All right? So these are quite tricky because you've got to try and visualize it in your mind. You've not got one there, and you've got to visualize it in your mind. So obviously, number 5 here will fold upwards to be stood upright, ready to get the roof of the cube on, if you like it, because number 3 is our base. Okay, this is the base of our cube. This is going to be one wall. This is going to be the other wall. This is going to be the other wall. And then number 1, that's going to be our top, you see. Now, imagine the walls are built and you're ready to tip number 1 over to shut the cube, okay, to complete it. And then you've got to think, all right, which edge of the roof is going to come into contact with this face? Now, if we think this edge is going to map up with this edge, isn't it? Okay, because as they're folded round, they're going to meet. Okay, each end is going to meet on this. So, is the edge we're looking for here? It's going to be one of either this one or this one. Okay, now this side, so this side here, let's go for a different colour. This side here, okay, is going to match up on this side, but it's back to red. But it's actually this side here that is going to pair up when this cube is built. Not easy to do, okay? Takes time, just you've got to think about it, how it's made. Okay, so we can have a look at some other cubes. So we get rid of these. Here's another couple of decent ones. The top one obviously is a net that makes a cylinder. And then the bottom one in green is a net that would make a cuboid. Okay. Again, the net has the same number of individual shapes as the 3D shape it's making will have surfaces. So we've got Let's see. Okay. So here we've got one circle, two circles, rectangle, and that's going to make 1, 2, 3 surfaces. Okay. Likewise on the cuboid, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is going to make each of the 6 surfaces on the cuboid. Okay. Good. Right. Let's have a look at a couple of nets. Yeah, because as well as having some, not that one, as well as having some nets that will make cubes, not all of them do. So you've got to be careful. Here we've got some nets that look like they might make a cube. They've got 6 shapes, but when you think about folding them, they don't actually go together. So you've got to be careful. Again, visualize it in your mind. Will we get a roof? Will we get all the sides covered? Will we have a base, etc., depending on the net that you've got? Okay. Good. Right. That's a quick introduction or a quick recap of nets. Here are your questions. So have a go at these, see how you get on. So number 1, what shape would this net fold into? Question 2, what about this one? Based on some triangles. And then finally, a bit more tricky, which edge does the red edge join to when this net is folded? So you can see a red edge there. Which edge will that map up to? Like the example I gave, try and think about where that'll fit when you've tried to fold it into a cube. All right, so give those a go, because here come your answers. Okay, so question 1 was a triangular-based prism. Question 2, a tetrahedron. And question 3, I've marked in red. When we fold this here, when we fold it up, it's this edge that is going to match up with this edge. Okay, so well done if you got those all right. The last thing for you to do is see if you can do the master's question. All right, here you go. What shape is this a net of? Okay, no answers for this. You've got to come and find me with the answer. And you'll get a point towards the Masters leaderboard. See how we get on. Okay, that's a quick recap of nets. Thanks for watching.